Hey, turn that thing up.
I'm Swise Jubels. I serve as pastor at the Emmanuel Church right here in Middleton, Nova Scotia. So Emmanuel Church is really a smaller church in rural Nova Scotia. Like many churches, it's advanced in age, if you will. We're a bit older, not too many families here. That said, we're all about know, grow, and show Christ. We're passionate about knowing Christ more intimately, growing in His likeness, and showing His love to this world. And so we're trying to be creative and finding ways to do that.
The pop-up barbecues started when we really wanted to provide something for the community. What we wanted to do is we wanted to go out and establish relationships with people and kind of really step into almost a discipleship kind of idea.
Coming out of the COVID pandemic, we realized that even though people are once again meeting with each other and being in community, they're still far more isolated than they were before. And as a church, we recognize that within the walls of our church, but we certainly recognize that in our community as well. And so we thought, is there a way to expand community again? And so yeah, one of the ideas was to just have a pop-up barbecue, put up a barbecue beside an apartment building, invite people to this barbecue and see what happens. And that's basically how it started. As I introduce our church to newer people, I will often say this is messy church. There are a lot of challenges in our church community, in our community at large. From my perspective, and I've lived in a few different places in my life, it's pretty extreme here. So there are some challenges in how do you actually carry the good news of Jesus into the community? How do you actually connect with community? And I suppose that's part of what we're trying to do with these pop-up barbecues, connecting with our community to start relationship. Yeah, so the event starts in some ways right after the weekend when we make that original decision, are we a go or not? So we have a good look at the weather forecast, and there we go. Then we'll have to purchase the goods and making sure that we have a bit of an idea what we're going to need for that. We've learned during the summer what to expect for that. So real simple, one of the little things is we thaw out some of the burgers and hot dogs, and some of them we just keep barely frozen. So we put them in the top freezer compartment of our fridge, so they're thawed out pretty quick. So that's how we manage that part. We have a group of volunteers from the church that we just send an email out to the whole group of people who are interested in serving in this regard, and they begin to respond then, and they show up here at the church at about 4:45 on the night that we have this event. We load up 1 or 2 vans, bring all our things out. By 5 o'clock we show up at the place.
And the volunteers then began to cook the burgers, hot dogs, whatever. People aren't going to show up right away. And so in that time, we have a prayer time, a prayer circle.
I think it's wonderful to be part of a church that does these things just to get to know people, to share a good time with them. I mean, the food is food, and it's great to have food. People love to eat. People love to hang out together while they're eating.
It sure is nice to get out with all your neighbors and enjoy this barbecue.
Overall, I'd say that it's been really fun to have the kids involved, and it's been really fun to be able to do it with my husband.
Well, Finn, what are we doing here?
I'm having a barbecue.
And who's the barbecue for?
Our community.
Yeah, and what do you have to do at the barbecue?
Help give people some food.
I think most everybody here kind of knows each other. But sometimes they don't get out and talk to each other. I know my aunt's a little bit, not reclusive, but she just needs to get out more and talk to people.
How else does a church get to know people, right? I mean, if we come in here and say, we're a church, we want to talk to you, you don't get that great a reception usually, but you come in here with hamburgers and hot dogs, they love you.
Whether they recognize it as spiritual or not, it is still spiritual, and that we get to share that love and that care.
There is something really special about just going and blessing people, and it's been an exciting thing to do this summer. And the biggest advice I can give other churches is try not to make it too big. If you can get 20, 25 people showing up at a little pop-up barbecue, it's just gold when it comes to actually visiting with them. That would be the biggest thing. Second thing I would say is just make sure you have some of the right gear to do it. It just takes the pressure of getting things ready. So a portable barbecue, a little canopy tent, it just really gives you a bit more flexibility with the weather. You won't get rained out quite as quick.
I would highly recommend that you plan, that you get your congregation on board, that kind of thing. Other than that, it's meant to be spontaneous. It's meant to be that going to the park. It's just the feel of going out and playing games and talking with people, that day at the beach, those things. That's what it is.
And find some of your volunteers, some of your servants in your church who are gifted for these different areas of serving, of visiting, of frying up the burgers. Find the different ones to be involved in this with the different giftings.
It works best with as many volunteers as possible. So that's people cooking, but then it's those people spending time with other people.